Hello again, Leo. Merry Christmas. It's December 2017. I'm Didici from astrology.com.au with, as you can see, your horoscope for the final month of 2017. Immense creative power shown here with the Sun, Saturn and Mercury in your fifth house as the month commences. And if we start the ball rolling here, we'll see the full moon taking place here right opposite this fifth house. You notice that Venus snuck in just before this full moon, adding even more power to this, along with this stationary Mercury, which is about to go retrograde just after the 3rd and 4th. Take a look at this. There's the full moon there on the 4th. This activates all of these areas of your horoscope. The fifth house is children, it's creativity, it's speculation, love affairs as well. So there should be a lot of energy being directed in that area. And of course here the opposite side of the zodiac has to do with friendships, sociability, your connections with other people, your network, those people that can actually help you. It's also the house of profits and one's fulfillment and desires. So when the moon is full here, this is activating a lot of the stuff. But a qualifier there, the moon is actually ruling Cancer, the 12th position from Leo. So this is charitable acts. You see here, maybe you're giving away too much too soon. And that's particularly pertinent if we're talking love affairs and relationships. You've got to be careful. 12th house moon on the 5th. You've got the retrograde Mercury here showing, although all this energy is here, you've got some revisionary component going on. Also some heavy Sun, Saturn influence, which relates to your responsibility. Now I mentioned children, for those of you that are parents. This could be a month where that weighs a little more heavily on you. And then you've got a problem here with the Venus combining with the Sun. Well, Sun has already crossed it, but Venus will later in the month make contact with Saturn. Nice aspects here around the 8th. Bit of a worrisome component around the 8th and 9th when the moon comes into contact with the North Node. Watch also this movement of Mars down here. Look at this, it's just snuck into this 4th house to make its way into a conjunction with Jupiter. So this is your family affairs. A lot of dynamic energy here with what's your best planet? Mars rules the 9th house and 4th house, moving into its domicile, what we call the domicile. Interestingly, this into the area of domesticity. A lot of energy is going to be expended here. This is constructive too. Big plans. Some of you may be rebuilding, building, purchasing, looking at new property, that type of thing. The square aspect from here, 2nd house of finance, that's not good for speculation. Again, we said the theme at the beginning of the month was wastefulness. Don't give away your hard-earned cash. Strong trine aspects here from the 9th house Uranus, North Node in the 1st house to this 5th house. This could bring with it a rather bizarre twist of events, some unusual and exciting events. Moon moves into the conjunction with Mars and Jupiter. We were just talking about this a moment ago, around the 14th and 15th, bringing with it a lot more emotional volatility too. Generosity, volatility. Take a look at this. It moves out here. What I'm very keenly interested in is this movement of the moon into its new moon phase, and that moves into the same house as all these planets on the 16th, prior to Mars making contact with Jupiter. So this is building up intensity in its intensity. And then you've got a bit of a square aspect here around the 16th to Neptune in the 8th house. There seems to be a flavour of sexuality here, but also some confusion. Neptune in your 8th house. It'll continue there for some years. But let's come back to the point here. The conjunction of the Moon with the retrograde Mercury, causing you to rethink, reappraise, readjust. You can't make things move forward too quickly. Again, for you, Mercury has to do with your finances, 2nd and 11th house. And so there's, again, this undercurrent of expenditure. Look at Saturn now for the first time in 2.5 years. There's your new moon just before this happens. Let's come back there for a moment. The new moon takes place here on the 18th in a close conjunction, what we call a partile conjunction with Saturn. So that is rather worrisome. This can cause problems with the added influence of the retrograde Mercury. Venus is combust, having the Sun transit over it. Rules your 3rd house of communication, so this is not great. But the pressure's taken off with Saturn moving out of this 5th house, just as you can see here, around the 20th, 21st. It will make its transition into the sign of Capricorn. A very nice position for you, bringing with it some renewed and more constructive approaches to your work, your debts, and the way you deal with your co-workers. This is a more conservative influence, although you do have the rather powerful trine aspect from Uranus coming from up here in the 9th house of legal matters, higher education, etc. Here you've got more intensification as Sun moves into this 6th house of work around the 22nd. So leading up to Christmas, it seems like you're going to be pretty busy here, more responsibility just when you thought you could have a rest. You may need to put the brakes on things there. And here we also see Venus shifting all that energy from your 5th house of love affairs into this 6th house of work, health, and expenditure. Mercury also moving into its forward motion, which brings with it a lot more certitude in terms of your relationships with others and your communication style. At that time, towards the end of the year, Mars and Jupiter combine. Christmas is going to be very intense, but you may still have quite a bit of work sitting on your in tray as the year winds down. So, there it is. In a nutshell, the final month of 2017 for you, Leo. I hope it's been a great year for you, and I also hope you'll join me back here in January for the special edition of what's happening to you in 2018, a synopsis of the big events that are going to punctuate the coming 12 months. In the meantime, don't forget to join me at astrology.com.au and find out a little bit more about what's going on in your part of the universe. Take care, and thanks again for being part of this experience. And for those of you that are new, please do come back again.